sweet marjoram and lavender. I tend to include the shoulders and the upper arms as well. And now using whole hands over the shoulders, that lovely wing, like an angel wing. Both scapular at the same time. I'm going to introduce the knuckles strongly, and this just feels fantastic here. Oh, lovely long out breath at that point. Constantly moving them, but only a millimetre at a time. I'm bringing the knuckles into the kidneys. Super, that's great. And strongly up again. You can see the areas going nice and rosy, using the fingers. Knuckles into that long area of fascia. So I've got my fingers in a line and I'm just working them up and down the edge of that occipital bone. And then my hand upwards and supporting, stretching the neck up like this. Fingers together and thumbs in the centre. Lovely, really encouraging the muscles over the top of the head to relax. Hey Harmonies, how are you doing? Are you feeling in tune today? Victoria here, thanks for joining me again. Today you're going to love this video. This is me massaging hubby Jez to a back and shoulder massage. And please subscribe, send me a little thanks, which is just underneath the video. Send me a little comment, let's have a chat, and I hope you enjoy. Let's spread a little healing. So I'm going to give you a nice back, neck and shoulders massage with essential oils. I've picked out some soothing essential oils because you've been working hard physically today. So I'm going to be using black pepper, sweet marjoram and lavender. These towels are heated on the radiator. The oil is heated on a lovely aroma stone. Just applying the oil at the moment to the whole back, using a gentle stroke in a reverse effleurage. To include the shoulders and the upper arms as well, which reassures and settles the client into the couch. Okay, so 3 nice long breaths. Stretching the spine with each breath and introducing my hands so that the body, the nerve, all of the receivers of the body feel what's to come, feel the touch. And now using whole hands over the shoulders, having effleuraged and stretched the spine. Now using fingers in a petrissage movement from the centre of the trapezius outwards. This can feel sensitive. And I can see immediately great reaction, which is lines of rosy skin responding to the petrissage technique. Now coming up, one hand going backwards, one forwards, in the soft tissue between the spine and the left scapula, as it comes up over the shoulder, round back down, where the fingers meet each other as they come through that channel. And now tracing a line using strong fingers in a row around that scapula, the shoulder blade. Shoulders that work hard tend to be quite tight and fixed. And what we don't want in our bodies is stagnation, where the body solidifies and feels stagnant and solid. It just needs to feel loose and fluid, flowing. And that's what a good massage encourages. The lovely flow of the circulation. That means the blood circulation, but also of the immune system, the white blood cells. Now using strong thumbs alongside a row of fingers to massage over the top of that left side of the trapezius as it rubs the toxins over the shoulder and down over the front towards the cervical lymph. A huge area. I tend to call it a factory of lymph in the front of the chest there that helps absorb, dispel toxins into our waste system. How's that feeling, Jess?
Oh, that feels amazing.
It feels good, yeah? Oh, bless you. Now coming round to the right shoulder, I'm going to repeat the same techniques. First of all, one hand overlapping over the top, pushing those strong fingers over that lovely soft tissue in that channel between the spine and the scapula. Now tracing a line round that scapular edge, that lovely wing, like an angel wing with a pointed lower side, rounded inside and across to the top of that point, and then round again. Using the strong heel of the hand upwards, same direction as the blood circulation to encourage blood to the heart. Over that shoulder and round, and encompassing the whole shoulder. I always find that's really important to include the whole shoulder, not just in back treatment and technique, but also in effleurage, the whole back. Really important to include that shoulder point. Now I'm going to come back to both scapula at the same time. I'm going to introduce the knuckles. Knuckling in symmetrical outward circles, all the way down to those wing inside edge across the top, and on the top of the scapula there's actually a little curl in the bone coming outwards, so you can feel like a bridge on the underside of the top of the scapula here, and that's where toxins like to sit. That's where sometimes we can feel itchy if the toxins are stagnating, or if worse, then it tends to solidify that shoulder, and then we start getting shoulder problems. So nice firm heel of the hand upward on the flat of that scapula, coming back to the knuckling again, over the whole area, agitating, moving, stimulating that soft tissue, the fascia on the bone. Strong upward pressure. That's nice. When I'm giving a treatment, I tend to know how this feels. I tend to feel it in myself as I'm giving whatever the treatment I'm giving, whether it's a core therapy and massage, reflexology. I tend to feel it myself. So this is just so relieving to feel, especially after a hard day working or exercising, or maybe a lifetime of the wrong posture. Whatever you feel, a massage just feels fantastic. So, reverting back to that beautiful long effleurage, where I come round the whole edges of the back, describing the contours and the shape of the back with my hands, up the centre to the shoulder points, encompassing the whole area, the whole sides of the back, firmly so it's not tickling, and then strongly up over the kidneys, over the lungs, to the neck, thumbs up the neck, into the occiput, strongly, and this just feels fantastic here. So there's lots of techniques that you can use over the neck. I particularly like overlapping when one hand comes down, separates the thumb from fingers, strongly up the curls of the neck, and then fingers and thumb, describing that edge of the occiput there. And then one hand coming up, doing the same thing. Sometimes one pushing the other hand in. Now, of course, we have muscles coming up here. We've got the top point of the trapezius muscle, which is under here. And then we also have the sides of the neck, which is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, also called the SCM. And then we have a lot of lymph and ligaments, and obviously the glands are in the neck as well, not to mention our beautiful spine, the circulation, and of course the cerebral spinal fluid in the dual tube. So the neck is such an important area to feel well, and unfortunately I always call it a little bit of a design fault, because our necks really have to cope with so much with the weight of our head on top and the way that we hold our heads downwards a lot of the time, whether it's for work or on our phones, etc., or just simply bad posture. then the neck has to cope with that forward movement, which is so heavy for the neck, that the neck tends to go in a self-preservation mode where it will seize up and just become solid. Just coming round to work on the opposite side of the neck. Overlapping hands from the shoulder point, across the trapezius, up the neck, into base of that scalp. Long flowing movements, reassuring, calming, relaxing. These just feel fantastic to receive, coming back to a backward reverse effleurage, strongly up, heels of the hands into that soft fascia. Oh, lovely long out breath at that point, coming down, strongly pushing the shoulders down to help posture. Round, strongly back up again. Next time I do this, I'll be using my forearms and elbows. And of course, Jess has got a really nice long back, long way to reach. Bringing my elbows and forearms, applying quite a lot of pressure. This can shorten the breath a little in the client, but I'm just responsive to that and making sure I'm not pressing too hard. Bring my elbows more into play. This can feel a little bit sore here. Constantly moving them, but only a millimetre at a time. Strongly down. Bringing the hands in. And you can see my whole body weight is pressing now on those shoulders. Just going to do that one more time. Bringing the forearms, the elbows. My hands are mainly turned upwards so that the elbows come into play. Pressing on the trapezius. Constantly moving. Bringing that weight, that pressure, the stresses and cares of the day off and up and over the shoulders and away. Wonderful. Now coming back to the lower back, always conscious that I want the back to feel warm, don't want any area to feel unattended or too cool. It needs to feel warm, soft, and like it's happy it's being paid attention. And bringing the knuckles into the kidneys, which is just above the waist, either side of the spine. There is strong muscle there, so I don't want to be pressing too hard that it's squeezing the muscle too much. It's nice and strong. But on the other hand, I want the area to go nice and rosy. Then I know it's responding well and the blood will go to those kidneys beautifully. That's what I need. I tend to talk to the kidneys in my head at this stage and tell them everything's okay. The kidneys is the organ where if there is a negative feeling that we feel, it will be fear. So everyone tends to be in fear of something. And the more fear, the more nervous and anxious we feel. We don't want that in our lives. So if you massage your kidneys, you can do it yourself while you're lying in bed or standing up, just soft fists into that area above the waist, either side of the spine, and massage firmly in a circular motion, or simply have your fists there and bounce up and down gently on your heels in order to stimulate that warmth and reassurance. coming down to the sacrum. So this is the flat triangle of bone at the base of the back. I'm massaging with knuckles strongly upwards. And feeling the edge of that sacrum with my index finger as it comes down, and then strongly upwards on the sacrum. The sacrum can actually take quite a lot of pressure. It's quite interesting how much strength it can take. Obviously in some people it might be quite sore there if they've got particular lower back pain as low as the sacrum. But I find most people, when they say they have lower back pain, it tends to be the middle of the back, which is the low lumbar and the lower thoracics. Sometimes it is down as far as the sacrum or even into the buttocks, and that may well produce sciatic type of symptoms. Now coming round to the sides, the muscles on the sides of the sacrum to the waist. So this is an area that needs to be warmed and treated in order to help us twist, because we tend to twist from the waist. So whether we're twisting when we're sitting, standing, exercising, working, whatever we're doing, we need to be able to twist smoothly without it causing a spasm in the back. And that's what this technique helps us do. It helps us warm that area, get rid of any spasm or muscle that has shortened. Jess is producing some nice long out breaths now. That's great. That shows that the lungs are in tune with the flow of the massage and the body is responding well. So I'm just going to come up strongly with fingers, separate the fingers at the waist and let the fingers travel down the side strongly of the body all the way to the bottom, so the hand forms a fist, and then gently back up the sides of the lower back, up again, separate at the waist, back down strongly, down the sides, and gently back up to that midpoint again. That's so nice. Letting the fingers and the thumbs travel down. And now just strongly again, but this time using the femur muscle, which is at the base of the thumb. And I'm working into the muscles on the top of the bone of the iliacs, which are the hip bones. This can feel sore as well, but I'm just massaging it and seeing how it feels at the moment. I'm hoping that muscle will respond by warming and lengthening, which it is. There's a lot of warmth there now. And I happen to know that Jez has had some left side lower back twinges recently, so I'm making sure that this area feels level, symmetrical and eased, that there isn't any particular knots or spasm or inconsistency on one side to the other. Now I'm going to be doing some scissoring. This also helps clear lymph in order to encourage white blood cells in the correct direction. So I'm just scooping my hands together in a nice scissoring action on one side over the ribs. This is a superficial treatment, meaning it's on the very outside of the body, just on the lymph, and then forming a line with my fingers, not pressing too hard at all because this is superficial. I'm now talking to the lymph system, and these lines come out from the side of the spine, one at a time, over away from the body, there are a lot of lymph nodes down the side of the torso, and that's where I'm encouraging the release of toxins down to. Because massage is so good for helping and encouraging the immune system in that fashion. So now coming to the left hand side, whatever we do to one side, we do to the other, so that we feel symmetrical and level, balanced, everything in harmony. And again, softly down, all the way down to the armpit where there is a very important lymph node. Down to the armpit. All the way down to the side of the torso. Super, that's great. And now, overlapping hands, again, the same direction for the lymph coming outwards laterally away from the spine to the side of the body in a beautiful sweeping overlapping hand technique, where to the person on the couch it feels like the therapist has 10 hands. Or that there are 2 therapists working on them. And down the arm. Now I can feel that the oil has soaked in so well. I might need to apply a little bit more shortly. It's at this stage, after a good few minutes of massage, depending on the skin, that it might feel it needs another application. And back to the effleurage. So having turned over, introduced another warm towel. Bearing in mind the couch is heated, the oil is heated, the room and the floor, and the towels, the oil, everything is heated. So it all encourages the body to relax. I am certainly an advocate of applying warmth, applying heat. Whenever I have a client with a sore back, crook shoulder, even arthritis and other pain around the body, I tend to say apply heat. In fact, I know a lot of people that when I introduce my hands to their abdomen for an abdominal massage, that there is a lot of cool there, cold areas, and there shouldn't be. The stomach should be nicely warm, not too hot, just nicely warm. And so any extremes of temperature, heat or cool, tend to tell me that there is something not quite right there and that I need to be applying heat. So I have a TDP heat lamp, which is an infrared with Moxa heat lamp, which helps, and also all of these hot towels, etc., heated couch. introducing my hand to the right side of the shoulder, all the way down the neck, extending the shoulder and back up. So we're stretching out and firmly back up. And each time with an out breath, the head tends to come slightly further over, stretching that neck and shoulder away. So massaging down around the shoulder, up firmly with the thenar and heel of the hand, supporting the head with the other hand, and strongly up again. You can see the areas going nice and rosy. It's a really good sign. Shows the blood is coming to the area, and where there's blood, there's life. There's chi. Strongly up under that occiput, using the fingers. Nice long out breaths, and let go, and coming round to the other side, massaging strongly up in a beautiful effleurage around the shoulder point, using my elbow into the couch as a lever, and then using the hand up in one long fluid motion, and then pushing the shoulder down again, strongly up and around, lovely, up that sternocleidomastoid, which can feel so tense. Back to the center for a nice harmonizing stretch. Using my fingers just under the base of the occiput in order to encourage the head to tilt backwards in a beautiful neck release. And long again. This helps us with any head tension. It helps us feel clear, able to make decisions, helps us with sleep, to avoid headaches and any head pain. So just symmetrical at the moment. Into the scalp, into the temples. And now we're going to use the knuckles on one side, so supporting the head over to the right while pushing the other shoulder down, using the knuckles into the soft tissue in between the shoulder and the spine, in that long line, picking up, pushing forward, bending that muscle forwards. Using my forearm on the couch to anchor so that I can apply pressure without hurting myself. And then thumb up on the underside of that line of the sternocleidomastoid, finding that edge, bringing it up. This can feel quite sore here. And then allowing the head to drop back so that the sternocleidomastoid isn't tense, and then just picking it up and massaging it. This can feel very tense because of the job it has to do, and this can produce all kinds of sensations when it's too tight or in spasm. For instance, tinnitus. And a neck that is very tight, yes, you're more likely to get cricked neck or not sleep well because your neck won't release. But another thing is that constant ringing in the ears, and apparently it's to do with this muscle here. So the more you can massage this area, be gentle with yourself, be compassionate. Massage, I'm using my knuckles in the area now to help release any tension in this lovely long neck. And then almost behind the ear, bringing those knuckles up and forwards in a circular motion behind the ear into that saddle joint. Stretching it and then bringing it back and over, ready for the other side. Knuckles into that long area of fascia from the shoulder point. Lovely, getting into that soft area, not pushing on bone at all. This is all muscle. And then bending that muscle as I did on the other side. Bringing the muscle forwards, softening, encouraging it to let go and lengthen. And then the thumb, tracing that line forwards of the neck, but not on the front of the throat. This is simply to clear away in between that muscle and the front of the throat, and then working on the sternocleidomastoid with a nice strong thumb strongly upwards in a circular fashion. At the base, at the center, and at the top, and then bringing the knuckles in. How does this feel, Jez?
Powerful.
Yeah. Is it too powerful?
No, I think it needed it actually.
Okay. Yeah. So I had my sternocleidomastoid muscle massaged in a very strong fashion last week when I was up at the core centre. And I certainly knew about it, and I'm actually being much softer with you than mine was. But I'm hoping this will help you sleep well tonight, will help you clear your head, sort out all of that stuff that's going around your head, so that you can see things more clearly. And then into that, it feels quite tense, but soft area underneath that line of the occiput. So I've got my fingers in a line and I'm just working them up and down the edge of that occipital bone. Nice. And then both hands, thumbs and fingers working in unison, round and forwards, picking up the neck and pulling gently. Nice stretch. So now I'm going to do a nice neck release where we're going to come up. And I've got my two fingers either side of the spine, and then my hand upwards and supporting, stretching the neck up like this. Letting it tilt backwards, neck release, massaging the thumbs and stretching. Now it's loose and soft. Going to be even taller. Pushing the shoulders down, around, coming up again. We're going to repeat this 3 times. stretching, massaging, warming that neck, lengthening and letting it tilt back. And then stretching it nice and long. This time just letting it come back nice and long. Now into just a few minutes of the scalp massage to help also with the neck and cranial tension, coming around the occiput, massaging with fingers together around the occipital bone, the large bone at the back of the cranium. Around the temporals, the bone on the sides coming up to the temples. Again, the fingers together at the moment. And then the parietals, massaging over the top of the head. Fingers together and thumbs in the centre. So, a scalp massage is particularly relaxing, but one thing I love that it does is it puts us more in contact with our spiritual side. So when we have our eyes closed, and I think most people have their eyes closed at this stage, we're far more likely to see some beautiful rainbow colours behind our closed eyelids that are stimulated from a scalp and facial massage. Occipital, temporal, parietal. And there is a line down the centre here called the sagittal suture. This line is really important to be treated. It's full of acupressure points, which are part of the meridian system in TCM. So just giving that a lovely stroke, telling it everything's okay. Your body has had a beautiful massage and you're going to sleep really well tonight. Then 2 further lines either side of that centre, coming down symmetrically and simultaneously, strongly down that area. And then I'm just going to petrissage technique into the side there. Lovely, really encouraging the muscles over the top of the head to relax. And now a little massage on the frontal bone, which is the forehead. That nice long bone over from one side to the other of the forehead. Just stretching that muscle out, encouraging it to let go. Gentle circles from the centre and out. gentle circles. And of course this helps dispel lines and wrinkles of the sort where they are vertical lines. Allowing them and encouraging them to go. Telling the forehead everything's all right. And then into the sphenoid bone, which actually stretches across the centre of the face. It includes the eye sockets. And it is so nice to have this treated and relieved. It responds well to massage, and it is responsible for also some of the endocrine system. For instance, the pituitary gland contained in the head just above the sphenoid. And then coming down to the zygomatics, massaging those cheekbones. Just a very gentle circular action. Beautifully relieving any tension. There's so many muscles and nerve endings in the face that respond so well to massage. And then coming away strongly over the ear and back. Doing that a few times from the zygomatic over the sphenoid, over the temporal, to the occiput and up the parietal. Really relieving so many cranial bones in one move. And just finishing with a nice shoulder reassurance up the neck, back of the ears, and I tend to use the thumb in that lovely soft skin tissue area at the very back of the ear, pulling the hair slightly and away. Every time I do this, I'm just getting slightly lighter with each movement. Very gently over the shoulders, neck, ears, scalp, and off the last one. Shoulders, neck, ears, scalp. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to see premieres every Monday and Friday evenings. Let's spread a little healing.